pretty interesting shovel here. These machines are always fun to look at, but it is not the focus of today's video. Today's focus is actually of this one behind me, quite a bit larger. This is Big Brutus, and in 1963 it was completed at a cost of $6.5 million. Back in the 60s and the 70s, it was, believe it or not, the second largest electric shovel in the world. But as of 1992, it is the largest. Pretty impressive by any standards. Big Brutus was designed and built by the Bucyrus Erie Company in the early 1960s. It was then transported on 150 train cars to a location where over 50 men worked about a year to fully assemble him. Brutus weighs in at 11 million pounds, and his shovel stands 16 stories tall, which dwarfs everything around him for miles and miles. The power plant inside Brutus produced up to 15,000 horsepower, which ran this machine 24 hours a day for 11 straight years until it was shut down for good in April of 1974. Now, Big Brutus isn't the largest electric shovel ever built, but he is the largest one still in existence. Other huge shovels like the Captain and the Silver Spade were bigger, but they are long gone now. The Pittsburgh and Midway Coal Mining Company donated to Big Brutus in 1984, and it became a museum here in West Mineral, Kansas. So now everyone can come and marvel at the sheer size of this thing. And that's what I'm doing here today. I'm going up inside this massive machine to give you a first-hand experience of what it's like inside Big Brutus. Look at that, 11 million pounds. Whew. Let's walk into the huge bucket here. I mean, you could have a dance party in here. So the bucket, or the dipper, has a capacity of 90 cubic yards, or approximately 135 tons of material that it can hold. The bucket was controlled by the operator, who sat high above in a room way up inside Brutus. The dumping height was 110 feet, and the load could be dumped up to 150 feet away by pushing the dipper stick all the way out. Kind of cool, you can see where different patches have been done, different repairs over the years. This is pretty big. These were called the crawlers. The crawlers moved the machine over the pit floor. The normal operating speed of the crawlers was 0.22 miles an hour. There are 4 crawlers consisting of 2 sets of tracks on each machine. Each one has 32 pads per track. Each pad weighs 2,008 pounds and is 5.5 feet long. There are 256 pads on the crawlers. Each crawler was powered by a 250 horsepower electric motor. Some interesting facts is Brutus was built off-site somewhere and was shipped to Kansas, to this area here, via 150 train cars and then assembled on site. And then it was used until 1974. Look at this. Look at this the revolving frame. Everything above this point is supported on the revolving frame that you're looking at. The revolving frame consists of a roller circle upon which the machine rotates. The roller circle is 45 feet in diameter. The revolving frame is able to rotate the machine a complete 360 degrees. We are going inside the bowels of Brutus. Wow. This looks like a full-on building inside here. Look at it. It reminds me of being inside of a ship. Look at this. This is unbelievable. I feel like I'm exploring in a big factory or something. Whew. These are actually motor mounts. The motors that were here operated 13 DC generators, which in turn operated 13 DC motors. Those operated the main winch, swing, and crowd. So these are swing gears. 3 gearboxes of this type were used to swing the house. Each was driven by a 750 horsepower direct current electric motor. And they are massive. Wow, look at the cable. Yeah, this is pretty greasy, so I'm not going to touch it, but frame of reference, I can't put my hand around it, that's for sure. This was the main hoist, it says. The main hoist was operated by 8 500 horsepower DC electric motors. There is 800 feet of wire rope on each side. The cable weighs approximately 25 pounds a foot. Sorry for the fan, it's going to be a little loud. This was the captain's chair right here. So this chair would swivel, so you had a fantastic view of the bucket. The operator was the third man on the crew. His job was to operate the bucket and to swing the house. He also gave instructions to the groundmen. The operator's cab and adjacent room were the only areas on Big Brutus that were air conditioned, so it probably was a pretty good job. And look at that view he has. This bucket here was capable of digging anywhere from 20 to 69 feet or 21 meters into the ground in one scoop. These are the crowd gears. The function of the crowd gears was to operate the stick that is attached to the bucket. It was operated by 2 500 horsepower direct current motors. Look at some of these tools. No information about these tools. I guess just random tools that were needed to keep Brutus running. The elevator. It's inoperative now, but this is how you would get inside Brutus back when it was working. Kind of hard to see in there, but that's where you would stand. That's inside the elevator. Look at the size of these bolts. The transformer room. Some good-sized transformers there. Transformer room was the main electrical distribution point for the shovel. The external power source was connected to a set of collector plates and then connected to the transformer room where it was distributed throughout the machine. Yeah, this thing is all electric. Look at this. At 15,000 horsepower to run this thing, it was basically shut off in 1974 because it was just too expensive. It was completely uneconomical. In fact, it's thought, and I don't know if this is true, but I've read that it was twice the amount of cost to run this than the coal it was unearthing. So it was really became too expensive. Flux capacitor. Where does this go? This is some pretty good sized wires right there. I mean, there's hatches and everything all over this place. You really do feel like you're in a ship. That one's been welded shut. All right, coming back out to the other side here. Oh, there's that elevator. So this is, you could just see, I'll try to get a better shot of it, but we're back down here at we're at the elevator. So now you can see there's the call buttons. You can kind of see up into the shaft there. Hey man, what's taking the elevator so long? So that ends the tour of the amazing Big Brutus. If you're ever in the West Mineral, Kansas area, definitely come out and check him out. And there's a bunch of other stuff here. There's old equipment here you can check out. Really gives you a good history of, you know, old drag lines and things like that, just how everything was mined back in the day. But there will never be anything like Big Brutus again, that's for sure. Alright, hope you liked it. Getting back on the road. See you in the next video.